That's my best friend.
Hello and welcome back to another video, the channel where my opinions will be berated regardless of my reasoning behind it. The Janoskians were a big part of my adolescent years. They were the first proper YouTubers I'd watched consistently on the platform. Whilst people were obsessed with One Direction, I like these guys. Yeah, it was a weird stage for my life. But as we age, we grow out of the people we liked in our younger years, and sometimes these celebs thrive, while some of them seem to just disappear. And sadly, that happened to the Janoskians.
No! God, please, no!
Just to refresh everyone's memory, the Janoskians are a group of 5 guys from Australia who created a YouTube channel together and did challenges, Q&As and pranks, and they also had other channels called Dare Sundays and Twin Talk Time by Luke and Jay Brooks. They even released their own music and went on tour. One of the members, James Mooney, left the group a few years into it all, but that didn't stop the remaining 4 members. So without wasting any of your time, what happened to these guys? Honestly, they lost a lot of traction on their channel. People became invested in vloggers and people who portrayed a sense of normality. It seems as though the Janoskians' wider audience were mostly female, so for many of these girls, they started watching lifestyle vloggers who were more relatable than a few guys playing Ding Door Ditch. The guys were unfiltered and portrayed themselves like the clowns you'd see at school, and that was their selling point. They made funny skits and were entertaining for a lot of young people. But their decline seemed to begin around 2016, and this is typical. Once one generation grows out of their content, a new younger audience comes in, and it doesn't make a big difference number-wise. But in this case, it doesn't seem like an abundance of a new young audience tuned in. Instead, the Janoskians slowly became irrelevant.
Unbelievable.
Their last upload was 11 months ago, which was a trailer to a movie which apparently has Mike Tyson in it. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. The movie Public Disturbance gained 3.5 out of 10 on IMDb. They had a pretty cool cast with Bobby Lee. The comments for the trailer was mostly people just talking about how they forgot the group existed. But their actual last upload was a 3-part series titled Or Pull, where they show us their acting skills. It's interesting that they chose not to change their content drastically, even though it would have helped their channel stay green. However, they have mentioned how they aren't focusing on the numbers, they just want to make content that they like. But from getting millions of views to tens of thousands would hurt anyone's ego. But seeing as it's been nearly a year since they've uploaded to their main channel, let's find out what they've been doing individually. I think we should begin with Bo Brooks. From the comments, I saw that people were worried about him since he was presenting irregular behaviour on his Instagram. Not gonna lie, getting Bobby Burns vibes here. And in his comment sections, when people ask if he's okay, he either jokes about it or just says yes. He doesn't just post cryptic videos, he also posts concerning quotes, and people are confused because this is a drastic change from his typical selfies. His Twitter seems to get even darker, where a lot of people are worried about him. Many believe he is struggling mentally or using substances. Remember, this is all alleged, not saying it's fact. The big thing that people are talking about is his 43-page book he's releasing with short stories and poems. It seems as though all of his posts are leading up to the book, but from the title, many have got the idea that Bo has gone through some sort of trauma, and this is his way of getting through it. He hasn't been clear that he himself is a victim, or is he channeling it fictionally. On the other hand, some people think this is all for attention for his music, which is on the darker side, which makes sense. Playing into the emo-ish dark aesthetic raises people's eyebrows and makes them interested in what is going on with Bo, since they're not used to this side of him. And the posts only date back to June, so it can be assumed that this is a PR stunt to get more eyes on his music and his book.
Through the ocean, and I saw a sharky, told him go away. Then I saw a whale, he was eating plankton, now he's swimming with me, tuna summer.
Luke Brooks seems to be the main person that everyone has a crush on in the group, always hinting that he'd be down to date a fan. Side note, I think that celebs just say that to be nice, by the way. Luke has always had a passion for photography, and he started his company called Shutter Island with over 200,000 followers, where he takes pictures of models and videography. Jay Brooks, formerly Ariana Grande's ex, I know I'll get flack for that, but I'm just jogging people's memory, seems to be into art and painting and is in a serious relationship. At face value, this looks normal until you look at the comments of the pictures together, and many are calling him out for being 24 and dating a 17-year-old. Just want to remind people, age of consent out there is 16 to 17, so legally he's not doing anything wrong. Nevertheless, many people believe this is morally wrong, but these comments don't seem to affect Jay since he keeps posting pictures with his girlfriend. And Daniel, aka Skip, has started a family channel with his girlfriend called Real Life. He seems to be living a happy and full life from what he posts on his Instagram. Finally, ex-member James Yamuni, who left in 2016, is focusing on his music career and DJing. In 2016, he put out a post on Twitter to say that he will always be a Janoskian at heart, and even when he makes music, he sees himself as one of them. Some have argued that after James left, the group went downhill in content and in views.
What are you boys doing now? You boys haven't been posting nothing.
Oh, sorry, man. I know, just after doing it for so long.
Yeah, it gets tiring.
Lost the motivation.
Yeah, I bet.
But because we're going kind of from out for 7 years.
Yeah.
We just lost the motivation after a while.
So from this clip, we get the idea that the group just lost motivation and stopped putting up videos.
Pull up in the gold I'm leading. But them other man need.
Now, having a real talent is subjective. If you can't sing, dance or act, many believe you're talentless, which I disagree with. Being charismatic and entertaining is a talent, but to stay relevant for years to come, there needs to be something more than just being an internet personality. Now, I don't want to knock these guys, but their music wasn't great. It was catchy, sure, and some of them had a really good message, but it felt gimmicky and forced. I think it's fine to make comedy music. We've seen Cody Ko and Noel Miller make some really good songs, but around 2015, they put out the song Teenage Desperate. And this wasn't comedy music anymore, they were trying to be a proper band. Sadly, the video fell flat. Yet again, the music sounded like it had been written by the machine, and it didn't feel like the Janoskians. I know they've always prided themselves as not being a boy band, but they were doing a lot of boy band music. Pranks in general began to wither away along with Vitali and FusiTube, and instead of switching their content, they kept making those videos. I get the vibe that they were trying to be a modern version of Jackass. The leg that these guys had to stand on was if their vocal female audience stayed interested in them, and I'm sure some have stuck by them, but I think most of them are in their 20s and just grew out of pranks. Aging out of Hollywood is the idea that once you hit your 40s, actors stand behind the camera instead of in front. And yes, these guys are nowhere near being 40, but they are no longer 18 years old on YouTube, and the internet in general has sped up time, so the guys we saw as teens now feel like they're in their late 20s. The oldest content creators have made the platform what it is, but many can't keep up with the changing algorithms and audiences wanting different videos, so many give up. And in the case of the Janoskians, they held onto their channel, hoping that the views would add up again. But the climate of YouTube is always changing. At some point, daily vlogs were popping, now it's mukbangs, tea videos and plain old clickbait. From the Janoskians channel, I have inferred that they refused to change their content, maybe because that's all they knew, and they wanted to stay consistent. But using the examples of Keen and JC and Shane Dawson, all old creators who have both changed their content drastically and stayed relevant. I understand wanting to stick with your niche and feeling a sense of loyalty to your viewers, but sometimes people don't actually care about the content, they care about the personality of the YouTuber. And these guys could have been big entertainers, but they weren't able to adapt. I don't want this video to come across as me shaming these guys or adding more salt to the wound, but I, like you, was interested in what happened to them. And from all of this, it seems that the group are just on other paths. Channels depleting, YouTubers quitting is nothing new, but I think we all held a sensitive part to the Janoskians because a lot of us grew up with them and they were our comedy source. They were real, they swore, made outlandish jokes, and they just seemed to be living their best lives. They didn't come off as flashy or like mean people who let the fame get to their heads. I have no idea if they've completely ended their channel. I'm sure there is a chance of it being revived, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. All in all, their views went down because people lost interest, and I have no idea what's going on with Bo. Many believe it's just all fake, and some say it's real. Maybe one day he'll tell us. Anyway, I think I'm going to end the video here. Thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know who is your favourite member of the Janoskians. Like and subscribe. I'll put my Twitter and Instagram up here, and yeah, have a great day.
Oh my god, I can't believe you just did that.
You hit me!
Thank you for watching. Out of here. Let's go.
Pull up in the gold I'm leading. But them other man need feeding. I don't wanna go Bombay. Them I don't know what I do when I go from wheeling. Leading the pack in black and I'm on with a bat. Snapping with a phone and dab. Boss up a man with a duster. Put him in the drip and sip blockbuster.